What's up YouTube, it's me Demi. This is day 2 update for Harbinger League Softcore. We are level 85 with the Doomfletch Prism Raider. I did finally use Tornado Shot now and I'm fully ascended. I went here first, then here, then here, then here. So I'm basically good. I got my skill tree more or less filled out. The only things I'm missing from the tree at this point are krait. So I'll be picking up 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2 here. I think that's all the krait nodes that we're going to be getting. Possibly this power charge, I'm not sure yet, but we'll go ahead and run a prerequisite strand while I continue talking about the build. But basically we just stack flat fizz and life, and then we get your res capped. I'm using a Doomfletch Prism. Once we get our frenzies up, we do a lot more deeps. We are using Tornado Shot. I do have a 6-link. No, I'm trying to 5-link my Doomfletch, but I've not had much luck with that yet, so it's kind of annoying. But it's not that big of a deal. This is L equilibrium, so they get all res whenever we hit anything, which is kind of annoying. I don't have my penetration stuff from the tree yet, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go krait or not yet. Because like we're kind of krait right now, but not really. I'm not using increased krits in my main 6-link, which means that our krait strike chance is like garbage. Where the fuck is my Tornado Shot? Look at that, 7.7k DPS. You have to remember that when you're looking at your Doomfletch tooltip, it doesn't account for any of the Doomfletch added damage. It's like, so I'm missing all of my flat fizz is being added. Like every 1 point of flat fizz adds 110% of that as fire, cold, and lightning. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell, but as you can see, we're pretty fast. We're immune to all status ailments that are basically, I'm immune to bleed and curses through my flask. And then because I'm phasing, I'm immune to all elemental status ailments. So no bleeds, no ignites, no freezes, no shock, none of that stuff, that's all done. But yeah, I've just been cruising through maps. I've had no issues with any map mods right now except for Ellie Reflect. And cannot leech is kind of an issue. But we are vol packed, so like, most things aren't an issue. Ellie Reflect random rares are fine because of the way Tornado Shot works. You hit so many times versus one big hit that you have time to leech back up between hits. You're not going to one-shot yourself. So that's good. But yeah, I'm not really sure if it's going to be worth it to go krait with this, because I'm going to be very strapped on skill points. I basically have 5, 6 more skill points, and as you saw earlier, I need like 12 to go krait comfortably. So I'd have to be like level 97 before I can fully realize krait, or I have to drop life nodes somewhere. So I don't know, I might swap out my curse on hit to be like Ellie weakness or something. There you go, there's your strand. We'll go over the skill tree and the links and whatnot. I started here, went up to Ballistic Mastery, Aspect of the Eagle, and then I went up into Coordination, Blood Siphon, Willow Blades, Fangs of the Viper. After that, we started heading all the way down to Acrobatics Phase Acro. Then we headed down here, grabbed Herbalism, grabbed Thick Skin, and Point Blank while leveling, and then I picked up Vitality Void for Leech, right? As soon as I got Leech, I picked up Volpact, then I filled out some more life nodes, and some more life nodes, and then after that you basically just start picking up damage. Picked up a bunch of fizz damage with bows, all the frenzy charges we can access, and then a little bit of Ellie damage, and more life here. And then jewel sockets, all of my jewels are the same. I'm using increased physical damage and life. You want physical damage because Doomfletch is 110% of bow physical damage is extra damage of each element. So any flat fizz you have on your jewelry, your quiver, your gloves, like any of that gets hugely scaled by that extra damage of each element. And then jewels also scale the fizz damage of your bow. So you need either physical damage on your jewels or physical damage with bows. And those are both prefixes, and so is life. So getting those 2 rolls as prefixes means you have to have a rare jewel. Or you can just go for one or the other and try to craft your own. I've been paying anywhere from like 3 to 10C for these, depending on what the last roll is. But mine have a lot of just fizz damage, life, and a little bit of stats usually. This one has some res on it. But yeah, that's the tree. Gear looks like this. Doomfletch Prism, we talked about that. Obviously, that's what you need. You don't actually need this bow. You can use any bow for this while you're leveling. I picked up a Doomfletch non-upgraded, non-prophesied version at around level 30 or so, and it works great. Again, you just use flat fizz, but it's only extra damage is one random element instead of all 3. So eventually, when you're higher level, get this. On the rest of my gear, I'm using a drill neck. You can use a rare quiver if you want. Just get as much flat fizz as you can get. Doomfletch actually has, or sorry, drill neck has the highest flat fizz among quivers, so that's why I'm using it. It also gives you 1 additional pierce, which is kind of nice. And everything else is just rares. So helmet is I have life, res, accuracy. Amulet, I have life, flat fizz, and then intelligence, a little bit of res. Ring, I have flat fizz, life, res. Flat fizz, life res, flat fizz, life res, wed, and then movement speed, life res, intelligence. You get the hint, right? And then flask, I'm using a curse flask, bleed flask, freeze flask. I actually don't need a freeze flask anymore. I can swap that out. Quicksilver and a basalt flask. Granite and basalt are our only real fizz mitigation sources, so I highly recommend you use those. Since we're mostly evasion on our gear. I have 79 armor, which is a grand total of 7.9 flat fizz mitigated from hits. It's really good. But with my 2 flasks up, I have a little bit more armor. The granite is actually not doing much because I have phase acro. It's 50% less, but it's still a decent amount. Then we have our dodge, spell dodge, and evade. Pretty good. Alright, chest is life resists. I actually made this myself. I bought the 6-link for 1x 17 chaos, which is just around, I think, 70 C right now. X is about, wait, what is it? X is 42. So about 60 chaos, sorry. I scour alked it like 5 times and got this, and I was like, what the fuck? Okay, we're done. So that's good. Yeah. Links. So main 6-link, I'm not crit yet, right? So I'm using Tornado Shot, GMP, Physical Projectile Attack Damage, Chance to Bleed. This adds flat fizz. Again, that's the point of Doomfletch. You just stack flat fizz. This gives you a massive chunk of flat fizz. Definitely get one of these if you can. And then wed for the more Ellie damage. I'm also using Pierce. You can use slower projectiles or Pierce. I was using slower proj at first because it was higher damage, and I didn't have a leveled Pierce. But I then swapped to Pierce because it lets you do AoE clear a little bit better. Doesn't matter which one you use, it's just a feel. It's like a little bit more damage if you use Pierce, or if you use slower proj, but it's not a big deal. And then I have a cast when damage taken setup, which is cast when damage taken, immortal call, and then I have GMP Arctic Breath. This does an AoE chill effect wherever they explode and it leaves trails. And then the immortal call gives you a little bit of gives you immunity to fizz damage for a couple seconds if you have 3 endurances up, which I have Enduring Cry. So other links, I have Herald of Ash, Blink Arrow, Faster Attacks. These don't need to be linked except for Blink Arrow, Faster Attacks. So I have a Ice Golem, Herald of Ash, and then I have my other heralds set up to Curse on Hit. So I have Herald of Thunder, Herald of Ice, linked with Curse on Hit Assassin's Mark. This is our power charge generation. But because I'm not crit, I'm probably going to take this out and just swap it for Elemental Weakness or Projectile Weakness. Either one is fine. Because we're not crit, the Assassin's Mark isn't really helping us that much. And then other random links, I have Enduring Cry, I have a Blood Rage, which I'm not using, I have a Faster Attacks that I'm not using, and a Chaos Golem, which I actually am using instead of the Ice Golem. Just preference. I'm not crit, so this feels kind of useless. And then I have a Siege Ballista linked to Physical Projectile Attack Damage, which gives us a little bit of extra single target. It actually is doing, let's see, 2.3k DPS without frenzies, and then Tornado Shot's doing 4k DPS. Again, neither of these show the Doomfletch activation, so that could be a lot higher. But yeah, we're doing pretty good. I'm enjoying the character. Doing well in League. I guess now we'll do the update. I've been making a lot of currency, just selling random stuff, like any sort of like life resistance movement speed boots or life res gloves, life res everything is selling like hotcakes right now. And I've just been selling a lot of that stuff. I've gotten some really good drops, like a Queen of the Forest, a Astromentus this morning, which was like 16 implicit and 92 affix. I sold that for 40 chaos. The Queen was like 9. I sold my old Doomfletch for 3. A lot of like 3 to 5 to 10 C sales just on random gear. I sold a Claw that was 274 DPS for 15 chaos. I sold a sword that was like 270 DPS for 10 chaos. I sold a mace that was 250 DPS for 8 chaos. Like a lot of stuff like that. And every time I get enough chaos to buy an X, I just buy an X. Because they're like cheap as hell right now. Like, I think I paid 30 chaos for my first 2, and then like 32 for the third, and then the fourth I actually dropped myself in Strand. But these are long-term investment, because they're going to go up to like 70, 80 chaos, right? So I'm basically paying half that or less. And when they are higher, I'll sell them off and then buy gear upgrades. But how many challenges am I at? At 12 challenges, day 2, pretty good. Level 85, as I said. Uber Lab trials are done. I can comfortably farm Merc Lab. Uber Lab I can do. I soloed it. It's just slightly uncomfortable with this amount of life. I can still do it. I just have to like micro a little bit harder, not get hit by any of the bigger hits. But yeah, the build's performing very well. I've pushed up to T9 maps and not have any issues. I can do Uber Lab. I've killed Tull a couple times. I haven't found the other guys yet. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying your league start. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments or come ask me on stream. The skill tree, or you can just check my profile for the skill tree and whatnot. It's in the description below. And if you are really enjoying my content, feel free to subscribe, leave a like, comment, whatever. I also have Twitch stream, link in the description, that I do almost every day. Been streaming most of this league start, and if you really enjoy all of my content, feel free to check out my Patreon and throw some support my way. It's greatly appreciated, as this is my full-time job. So I will see you guys in the next video, and that'll be Demi out.